Thank you for turning to page 121. Today we're going to jump into my well-worn monster manual. We're going to look at an earth elemental. I love earth elementals. They're so much fun. Elementals of all kinds are fun. Even the quasi and the para-elementals are fun. But I love earth elementals. So this is just a short little write-up on them. So let's take a look at what they have to say. Earth elementals. Number appearing 1. They're very rare. Armor class 2. 6-inch move, which I think is slow. 8, 12, or 16 dice. Number of attacks 1. Damage 4 to 32. 4 die 8. Special attacks, see below. +2 or better weapon to hit. Standard magic resistance, low intelligence, alignment is neutral, and they're large. These most powerful creatures travel rather slowly, and in order to cross water they must travel through the ground and go under the bed of the body of water, possibly a long trip. They score full damage against any creature which rests on the earth. -2 on each die of damage against other opponents, flying, levitating, etc. Against constructions built on stone or earth, they act as super battering ram, causing 2 to 8 points of structural damage. A typical cottage having about 7 structural points. They can be summoned from earth or stone. On the elemental plane of earth, there exists a boss rumored to be of astounding size. So, earth elementals, when you first read it, you don't think much. They're slow. They're only 6-inch movement. I think that's slow because an earth elemental, to my mind, should be able to move through the earth. And limiting them to a 6-inch movement rate through the earth is pretty limiting. Just my opinion. I do allow them to travel a little bit faster than that. I usually will let them go 12 inches. And it's just my preference. I feel that if they're on Earth, they should be able to travel full. The one thing that's really important is they score full damage against any creature which rests on the Earth. So if you're standing when you get punched by this thing, you take 32 points of damage right there. There's no rolling dice. You're standing on the Earth, you take full damage. And -2 on each die of damage against other opponents of flying and levitating, that kind of thing. So if they swing on, say, a creature that's under a levitate spell and they hit, then they roll 4 die 8, -2 per die, and then minimum, of course, of 1. So if I rolled 2 3s, a 4, and a 5, I'd be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage total. So not much when you're flying. So when you're flying, and that's good. I like that. It doesn't give us much beyond the large size because that's how AD&D used to be. So you don't know what kind of reach it's got and stuff like that. The other thing this description doesn't tell us is that if it's summoned from stone, generally it's a lesser elemental. It's going to be of 8 to 12 dice. There are a number of magic items that summon and control earth elementals, and I'll be looking at a few of them as we go forward. And they I don't know, it's interesting to call up an elemental and then to command it. So when you're conjuring an earth elemental, say as a magic user, you have to remain concentrating on it in order to have control of the elemental. So you can't do anything else. You've got to just stay and concentrate to command it. You also are in some kind of protective circle, so you really can't move with it. So the earth elemental is going to be limited in how far it can travel, whatever speed you want it to travel, whether it's 6 inches or 12 inches. The other thing about earth elementals that I allow at my table is I will let them go into the earth, as it's said in the description, and I will let them reach up a hand and yank someone in. I realize that this is a really powerful power, but it just seems to make sense to me. Now, I won't let the big bad evil guy be defeated in this way, and my players know this. And my big bad evil guy will have on his anti-earth elemental underpants or something. He's not going to fall that way. But if he's got some minions that are in the way, I just let him kind of do, him being the earth elemental, do a limited rock to mud kind of situation where he just changes the consistency of the earth. If he's traveling through the earth, then he can definitely, in my opinion, change the consistency of the earth. So I'll allow a very limited area of effect, rock to mud. But he can pull them under the earth in the mud kind of form, and then just have it turned back to earth, and they're done. And like I said, my big bad evil guys aren't going to fall that way to a player character earth elemental, controlled earth elemental, but it's a fun way to have the minions dealt with a little bit. These are also very good in any kind of battle system scenario. These do really, really well. As an elemental, it takes a +2 or better weapon to hit them, which is brought out here. And that's pretty cool. I really like the various elementals. I like the earth elemental. There are lots of earth affecting type things. There are lots of associated earth type creatures. We're going to take a look at a few as we go forward. But that's really it for the earth elemental. So you've got lesser at 8 dice, medium at 12 dice, and 16 at large dice. And of course, I've had them go up as high as 24 dice, which is called out in a few modules and different adventures and stuff like that. Just because it can be a lot of fun for your players. A big challenge for them to be fighting a 24 hit dice earth elemental. And when he's 24 hit dice, I up his damage from 6 die 8 to something like, or 4 die 8 rather, to something like 6 die 8. So that's 6 to 48 points of damage. And there have been times too, if the players are really powerful and I have some higher level legacy characters at our table, and I'll give the earth elemental some strength bonuses to hit and damage on top of its other stuff. So I'll make it, +4, +10, something like that, just to keep things interesting and pile in the damage a little bit and make the player characters worry just that little bit more. But that's all I've got to say about our good friends, the earth elemental, today. Let me know what you think. If you use these at the table and to good effect or bad effect, let me know. I'd be interested in finding out. Also, please take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there to help keep the channel growing. Also, tell your friends to grow the channel. The channel's growth has almost stopped, amazingly. I don't know what happened, and my viewership is way, way down. I'm not sure what's happened there either. But if there's anything you can do to help with either, I would appreciate it. Obviously, you guys are still viewing if you heard what I just said, so thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.